For this week's question, the question that came through was, who are the Druids? Can you explain more to me about how they worked on Earth and who they are? So for this session, what I'm going to do is I'm going to channel for them and I'm going to let them speak through me so you can get it directly from them on who they are. Now, if you do have a question or a topic you want me to channel, as a reminder, go ahead and subscribe to the newsletter and then respond back with the question that you have. And each week, I will be channeling, answering people's questions on all topics, whether it be personal, whether it be connected to the society, whether it be connected to the world, or just the energy overall. But ask, because I always love to see what their perspective is on what's going on this earth right now. So give me just a moment to let them come forward. For yes, some of you have heard of the Druid consciousness. Some of you have heard of us on Earth. We were beings that came in to live on the Earth plane to really enmesh ourselves in Mother Earth, utilizing the elements, allowing for humans to find out how they can heal, how they can live, and how they can nourish themselves with what is coming forward. And that is what is most important right now, is for you to have an understanding of where you are on your path and how you can embrace what is being given forward to you. Now, with the earth you live in right now, there are much more demands on people. There are much more societal beliefs and instructions, and you need this and you have to have that, and you go here, and you run a much faster paced life. But it is still the same of when can you go inward to connect in with the elements, to connect in with the world. For when we were on earth, we truly tried to help people heal. We tried to help them support each other. We tried to allow for them to take what Mother Earth provided and really use it in a way that connected them back to their true essence, that allowed for them to live a life that they were meant to on this plane and utilize and use it to connect in with their path. Now, as all of this is coming in, it is about each of you understanding that we are here in the same way, but we just don't walk the earth as the consciousness. Now, yes, there are those that still follow many of our ways, and we are excited for that and happy for that, as they can truly help pass on some of the stories, the rituals, and the ways of life that we laid out. For yes, in some ways they are very simple, but they are also very effective. And because they connect in with the elements within the astrological energies, they are still applicable to this day. They still allow for people to come in and to connect in and really recenter to what is important to them. So we are excited that they are doing that and know that as more information comes forward, as we did not write anything down, everything was given through song, through stories. That's how our information was passed down. Because so much of what we did was somewhat in secretive at times. We did not follow the religious patterns of the time. We didn't follow the political patterns of the time. We wanted just to allow ourselves to support people, to support nature and what it was given. And so we wanted just to live our own little way of life and in some ways kind of be left to our own devices. But because we understood the energy of the earth, the elements, all of those factors, we also understood how to heal with energy, how to harness the energy, how to allow for that energy to pass through to someone, whether they are right in front of you or they are miles and miles away. But it is about you having that connection that, yes, we did want others to have that. But that is why we had to keep things, we will say, a little more secretive in what happened. But those stories, those messages, and those information is still around. It is just thought of in different ways. It is not seen as for what it is. And the energy that can be harnessed from the earth, from others, from the universe, that will also come to be seen that yes, there is in fact a way to use it differently. There is a way for each of you to live more in alignment to not only the universal energy grid, but to each of your own paths and your own purpose here. Now, because we had so much knowledge at the time, because there were many that came to learn from us, to study with us, that in some cases worked up through our, we will use the word ranks for you so you better understand, but that continued to grow with us and reach a different level than maybe others had. That is there because they were here, they connected in with what needed to be, and they could take that information back to their homes, to their villages, to where they resided, and pass that on. That is very important to connect with. Where many of the people that you may know or recognize of healers up there today worked with us for their strength and their commitment to letting them understand the information, but then also share it with others. For we did not want anything to be kept from. We wanted all to benefit from it. It was just that we had to do it in a way where we were not shown to be what we truly were, and that was supporting people. It wasn't about control, it wasn't about power, it was about helping them live on their path. And we did that not only for humans, but for animals and the ground around us. For what we took from the ground with food, with nourishment, we then had to replenish back into the ground. So re-putting our ash from our fires back there, our leftover food that maybe we did not consume or could not consume, those bits we put back in as a reverence, as gratitude to what is there. And that is what is key for that to remember is that there are so many things that each of you can give back to earth and the elements, but it was all about the support of others. So much of the knowledge that we hold will slowly begin to come out. It will allow for you to have an understanding of maybe a slightly different way of life, a slightly different way of connecting in. And that is what is important for all that are there. That is what each of you need to recognize and connect with, and to truly have that understanding that the truth is within each of you. No one can give you the answer. Yes, you can be supported in a way. Yes, you can be allowed to have an understanding of what is coming or what is happening. And someone can be there to give you another thought, another way of thinking of it, or a perspective. But ultimately, the answer is deep within each of you. So instead of looking outward for the answer, sometimes when you look in, you will find that what you need and what you need to know is truly right there. And that is what is key for you to recognize, is that it is all within you. And that is very much what our teachings are about. So we have come back to this plane to truly support each and every one of you with a connecting how you can become more aligned with your path and your purpose, how you can truly know where you are and where you want to go. And yes, there are those of you that will stray off your path, for almost every human does it. It is just because they get caught up in the shoulds of the world or the need to of the world, or, well, my parents or my spouse or my children said this. But it is what is right for you. Theirs is a perspective, but they have not walked a day in your shoes. So it is about understanding their perspective and not being obstinate or saying, no, it's going to be this way, or them saying, well, I don't care what you think, this is what it is. But it is about a connection to the energy, to decide what is it that you're looking for. What is it that you would like to connect with, to have, and to truly be one with what is going on? And as all that is flowing in, we are here to support each and every one. Because of that connection we hold with the elements, as your body is of all of the elements. Your body is earth. It is the ground. It comes from the ground and it is. Water is made up of a very large percentage of you. Air is what allows you to live, the breath, the oxygen. You would not last long without it. Fire, each of you are a being. You are the fire within you. You are the energy. You put off heat. That is the body. It is a machine creating heat. And the celestial, the soul. You are a soul with the body to make you become the being who you are. And then you add in the mind, the consciousness. So it is all right there for each of you, for each of you to connect in with, for each of you to have an understanding of. And so, because of our time here and us seeing many different things and watching even when we were not on Earth, we are allowing for this to flow through. We are allowing for us to grasp and understand, as she has given us much to ponder as we decided to come back into this plane and work with her. As she goes, you don't understand. And in some ways, we struggled a bit, but that is okay, for we learned and we looked at different perspectives in different ways. And so we are excited to be allowed to come back to this plane through her, to allow for us to share our knowledge, our wisdom, and hopefully help every being here truly align and be one with what is needed and what is coming. So we wish you much blessings on this journey and look forward to what you can experience and what we may offer as assistance or support along this journey of life. I hope this gave you some insight to who the Druids are and how they work with me, how they operate on Earth, and how they're just here to really help. So, part of what I do is I channel what you've just seen, and I allow for people to speak with the Druid consciousness. And, like they said, they really want to work and support people on their journey to find that reconnection, to walk in your path and purpose, but also embrace who you are, to live this life that you chose to come in and live. So that is how they work with me. And I then allow for that information to flow through that can be very personal when it's private session, that will really allow for you to find that connection and to reconnect in with what is there, what is meant for you. But as I always say, even if you're on a group session or you're listening to one of my videos, you can always come to find there's something in it for you. Even I myself, when I am working with another client or listening to another channeler, even if the message isn't specifically for me, I will still have that thing that goes, I never thought about that. That is a really interesting way to think about it. So the key is always be open to what is there. So thank you so much for the questions this week. And know if you have a question, whether it be something a little more connected to you, whether it be something about the world, what we're going through, the energies, or even something that is completely different, I would love for you to send it in. And really, so we can connect in and we can all help each other learn and know more about who the Druids are and how they're here to help us and how they can give us advice and their wisdom to move forward on the path. So thank you for being a subscriber and sending this message in. If you want to be a subscriber, please go to thechannelsource.com and sign up for the newsletter so that you can send in your questions and topics for us as well. And let me know what resonated for you. Put in the comments or shoot me back an email just saying, hey, this is what resonated with me. This is what I like. This is what I'm interested in. I always love to hear from everyone. So wishing you many blessings today and always.